So I'm not sure how many of you are aware of this, but recently the original Star Wars was translated into the Navajo language. There are still some people out there who just speak Navajo and don't speak English, although the language is dying to a certain extent. So they translated it for those people so they could enjoy Star Wars. And as it turns out, yeah, pretty much everyone likes Star Wars, but that's not really the point here. What they did is they only translated the original, A New Hope. Right? They didn't translate any of the others, including The Empire Strikes Back, which makes sense. You know, if you're going to translate one, you might as well go with the original. But they really, really need to translate The Empire Strikes Back. And it's not because some people think that that's the best movie out there. It's not because there's the big twist at the end. It's for a completely different reason. Now, this translation is not for me. I am not a native Navajo speaker, if you couldn't tell already, and I hardly know any of the language. I only know a little bit because my dad grew up on the res, and he's taught me a little. Basically, my extent of the language only goes as far as I can tell when other people are mispronouncing how to say hi.
Yeah, it's
Which, for the record, I can't pronounce right either. So why do we need this translation? So if you've seen the movie, you're aware that there's a scene where Luke and Darth Vader have a little bit of a lightsaber fight, and during that fight, Luke manages to get away from Darth Vader at some point, and he says, "Impressive."
impressive.
You know, in his great, deep James Earl Jones voice, you know? Great, iconic voice. Now, on the surface, that's just a little bit of a throwaway line. It's just maybe a little bit of battle banter used to spice up the action a bit.
Impressive.
But if we translate this into Navajo, it becomes something wonderful. Because the proper Navajo phrase to use for the word impressive used in that manner is, that's right. I'm sure I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, so please forgive me. Any native Navajo speakers, feel free to laugh at me in the comments down below. And just to reiterate, this isn't an actual direct translation, it's more of a culturalism. Like, if you had a native Navajo speaker and they need to interpret that feeling, they would say that instead of saying the actual Navajo word for impressive. It's kind of like shrugging your shoulders. It's like that type of thing. And I know this may seem a little just childish on the surface, but I really need a Star Wars movie where Darth Vader goes, just imagining his tongue contorting in that way just seems fantastic, because it goes completely against like the classic breathing, you know, the please make this Disney. I need to have this. So anyway, hope your life is made better by knowing that. And I'll see you whenever the hell I make another one of these.